this Friday, yes, I would start Havertz in the middle because it's Ipswich and it's at the Emirates and we can score goals. But when we go to Brentford after that, I definitely don't think we should continue that. But we did play with high intensity, which is amazing.
Do you think that setup today was specific to Crystal Palace because of one player availabilities that we had? That was 1-2. Him looking at Crystal Palace, we had just played them, looking at how they set up and what each player brings to the game. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, it's about scoring the goals. I also don't like to see him in the midfield, but if the method, fixes the madness and the ball goes in the back of the net, then the manager got it right for this game in isolation. I don't think it's going to be a consistent thing going forward. Because if that was the case, he would have been doing that in other games. We've not seen Havertz in that role in many games this season. So I think he's just doing that because Jesus' confidence is up. If Gabriel Jesus is going to play as a 9, I also want to still keep Kai Havertz on the team because he's been playing very well for us. I mean, in our bad spell, he's been sometimes one of our better players.
He has been poor over the last couple of games, though. And
literally,
the one thing I didn't like about that lineup is we were potentially shoehorning Kai Havertz in, which was something
that was not shoehorning.
Just drop Kai Havertz if you want to play Jesus up front. In my opinion,
I hate you, but Havertz did his thing today. I don't think he
did his job.
Yeah, no, of course. But I'm just saying in hindsight.
In hindsight, I hate you.
In hindsight, what? Sorry, I'm confused.
I'm a bit confused though. Like we're talking about Havertz as if Havertz was a major downfall to our, he was a major downfall in our contribution to the game. I thought but he wasn't excellent. I don't think he was excellent. But
Nathan, I'm just saying it shouldn't be something we carry forward consistently, right? That's the issue because when we play,
but you know what we also do as Arsenal fans? We criticize, right? We sit here and criticize that we don't rotate enough. We don't utilize the squad as much. And then when the manager does things differently, right? And then we actually do get a result and we go away to a tough away ground, right? Let's keep it real. Palace under the lights is not an easy game.
By the way, it's not that difficult. While I'm proud of the win, it's not that difficult. They've only won one game at home this season, guys.
But I'm just saying, traditionally speaking, Palace
is good. The 5-1 is amazing. Yes.
No, but I'm just saying to you, like, regardless, Palace can be a tricky place to go, right? We've seen them in the past give City tough games, Liverpool tough games. They've given us tough games. So let's not, like, regardless of their form, right? It can be a fixture that you can slip up in. So all I'm saying is at the end of the day is the manager has done something different, and we're all sitting here talking as if he's done this 4 or 5 games in a row. Like we're talking about the Christmas period. This is the most congested period of football that we're going to have throughout the season, where we're going to have to keep it fresh.
It kind of reminds me of the Partey at right back situation of where he does not want to drop Partey.
It's not about wanting to drop Partey. It's also about what Nathan is saying.
Kai Havertz has been poor over the past couple of games.
Oh, hold on. So what are you going to do, Matt? You're going to say because the player has been poor over the last couple of games, just drop him. What about Gabriel?
Jesus scored a hat-trick.
Hold on. Jesus, who has been poor all season.
Jesus played in this position, though, Matt.
Hold on.
You're going on as if Havertz has kicked Jesus out of the team, gone up front, right?
No,
and he's moved Jesus to the left to accommodate.
Why shoehorn Kai Havertz in the team?
He's not shoehorned though, because listen, again, let's talk about this.
You just won 5-1. I don't know what you fucking moaning about, you mugs. You fucking mugs.
You don't know what
I wish I won 5-1. You mugs.
It's weird though, Matt. It's really weird.
I literally just said he shouldn't do it long term, but I
agree with that. I agree with that. He shouldn't do it.
I totally hear you, Ash. But we're talking about just today's game.
That's what I'm talking.
Something about a manager saying, these are the instructions for Kai Havertz today, and get the job done. He gets the job done next game. We see how he sets up.
I will say to the haters, though, I will say to the rivals, though, this game has, I want to say silence many doubters, but I'm going to be shameless. Martinelli, who's being criticized, ended up scoring. Jesus, who's being criticized by everyone, ended up scoring. Arsenal that cannot attack and don't have a good attack. I think we have the second best attack in the league. Ended up scoring 5 goals. Arsenal currently, according to the PremierLeague.com, by the way, are top in terms of big chances created. 48 big chances created. 4 more than whoever's in second place. Rice, who's been shit apparently this season, comes off the bench, scores a banger. So, hey, we need to be shameless as well, maybe, and silence all the doubters.
True.
I think
against
Souls
Wolves,
is going
man,
a
like-
bit crazy though. I think Souls went a bit too far saying we're gonna win the league though, but it's still a bit
that
early
was
for
that
In
was the
fairness,
closing
in fairness to
statement.
Souls, though, Souls has been saying that for about 8 weeks now. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not like
but the
he's-
difference
it's not like
is
his
big
message
up.
has changed.
Nah. But there's a difference though. Big up Souls. I have nothing but love and respect for you, brother. But you didn't show up after the last 2 games.
I was going to mention
when we
that,
drop
yeah.
points. So that's
Mhm.
different. You have
Fair.
to.
That's
Like,
fair.
yeah, you got- Yeah, come on, bro.
That's
Wolves
fair.
always
It's
has
easy-
not
it's
given
easy
us
to
a-
say it after a 5-1.
Man's got responsibilities as well. You know, I've got a life outside of football.
Hang on. You ain't got kids. You ain't got no responsibilities. You ain't got kids.
Hey, listen, I care for people, all right? I've got
Okay.
responsibilities.
What are you done with them now? They're stuck out in the cold because you won.
No, we're all off in it. We're all off. It's a Christmas season. Isn't
No,
it?
but like, but
Exactly, brother. I know.
in isolation, I think that once the manager gets a win, it's a win for me. I'm not going to try to then say, oh, this is the team that has to play the next game. No, because the next team, it's going to be different. It's a different team. He sets up differently for that team if it works. And that's what he said at his last interview. He said, if I bring Ethan Nwaneri in and he scores and we win, I did a good job. But if I bring Ethan in and he doesn't score and we don't win, oh, I made a bad sub.
Speaking of bringing people in, I want to throw this to Sard. Young Skelly came in at left back today. What did you make of his performance?
Listen, MLS man, he's a really, really like confident kid, bro. You can see that this guy is he's confident when he's on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look out of place. And I said this last time when he played, and obviously the goal that he assisted with that through ball, like he just continuing it again, man. He's a brilliant young talent, and I was really happy with his performance. Obviously he came off for Calafiori in the end, and then Calafiori came on, done what he was doing, it was good to see Calafiori as well, apart from when Nathaniel Klein, the irrelevant guy that he is, decides, oh, you know what, let me put my name in the lights and try and injure him and end his career. So then obviously, listen, on the whole team as well, yeah, I know everybody's speaking about this whole Kai Havertz thing. I was against it completely because I don't like Kai Havertz in the midfield anyway. But listen, it is what it is. Whatever the manager wants to do at this point, as long as he gets the win, I couldn't care less. Yeah, but don't go out there and put stuff out there that doesn't work. In regards to what has worked, this Jesus guy needs to get drug tested, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's eating. I don't know what's going on. Is this what happens when you're because we've had 2 players where both of them have announced pregnancies. One went tits up, and then the other one went to the moon. So what's happened to Martin Odegaard after that pregnancy? And then what's happened to Jesus after that pregnancy? Because one guy went to the moon, the other guy is just a bit stagnant at the moment.
Oh, no, one gave birth in it. Yo, those babies aren't easy, bro.
Okay,
Do you know what? About Jesus, right? I want to throw this out, right? I think Gabriel Jesus as a, when it comes, I'm going to do a bit of a Sam impression here, but like based on ability, right? Gabriel Jesus is a good football player, good to very good football player. He's never been a prolific goal scorer, but he is such a confidence player. And yeah, these injuries and he wasn't scoring, and he just it basically consumed him. Like genuinely, it consumed him. It really, really did. So I'm just looking for a second on here. It really consumed him, and he looked like he was really struggling. Like he looked like he was really, really struggling. He scores the goals, and since he scored his first goal against Palace midweek until he came off as a sub today, he looked like the player in that first 6 months when you signed him 2 years ago. He just looked fast. He looked quick. His touch was there. And I think it just goes to show that mentality of an individual, confidence, in some respects, are so. You're going to maybe see it in the boxing later today. You might see it because Tyson Fury has lost the fight. And as much as he says, I haven't, he knows he did. And that, when your confidence is suddenly drained from you, your ability wanes. And if you've ever played sport at any level, it will happen. I competed at sport at a good level, and whether it was the katas and the forms I did, which had to be like perfect to try and win, I went through periods, and that was more important than the fighting when it came to like your mentality, because there'd be times where there'd be certain jumps or certain techniques you had to do where you had to land them perfect. I remember once I messed up at one little tournament, and I remember doing the kata a week later, a different tournament, bigger tournament, and split seconds before I jumped, I went, oh, what if I land like last week? And do you know what happened? I landed worse than last week. It took me about 2 months to get out of that cycle because I kept on thinking about it. And I was then snatching at things and I weren't doing stuff right. And then I started doing weird stuff. Started tightening. Like I went and bought a tighter gi, thinking maybe if I have a tighter gi, it helped. That made it work. I remember going through this at 16, 17. My dad blasted me once. I got home from a tournament. I had to get on today. So yeah, I came fourth again. I remember him ripping into me so bad. I was only about, I'd say I was young. I nearly wanted to cry. He's like, we're wasting all this money on you and you can't even land, right? And I kept on falling over. It didn't matter that I won other events that day. It was that one. And it's just, I know what it's like. And, you know, and by the way, I wasn't competing in front of 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people with tens of millions watching on TV. So for me, when it comes to Gabriel Jesus, I think he's a good player. I think he's a good striker. He was just suffering and he scored goals and you've got the player back that you bought. What I would say is he's so reliant on confidence. You still need to look for someone better. You need to look for someone that even when they don't have confidence, they can keep bagging goals. And I think that's what I would do with him. But if he can ride this wave for a few months now and keep scoring, could change your fortunes in the short term.